Well, hello there guys. Today I once again got some really beautiful place to show you and some really fun bike to review. My name is Victor and it's Taipei Heat. Let's go! So today we've come to the North East of Taiwan, to Tamsui. I love this place. It's good for taking a walk during the day at the beach, grabbing some small local foods at the night market, or take a boat across the wharf of Tamsui, and everything looks really beautiful. Personally, me and my wife, we love this place because we love to stay in coffee shops here. You basically have this beautiful view, and you also can grab a cup of coffee and sit there for all day or half of the day and wait for the sunset. Sunset will be just here, just at my back. Imagine sitting here, drinking some nice coffee and seeing the sunset. It is really awesome. We love this place. And I also want coffee now. Let's go grab a cup of coffee. Guys, since I already got my coffee and pretty much everything I wanted to do on this beach, let's talk more about the bikes. Today I actually wanted to take a look at the latest Kymco Racing S150. It's a decent bike and it is really nice for racing. Everyone praises its racing cornering capabilities. But since a few of you asked me to keep going talking about the liquid-cooled bikes, in Taiwan I have only 3 of them, which is Force and S-Max by Yamaha. It's basically the same bike, just different characteristics. I already did a review for it. You can check the video by the link in the description. And also there are 2 more bikes to go, which is Kymco Racing King 180 and the PGO Tigra, which is the absolute beast. Actually all of them are pretty cool bikes and I hope you will enjoy the reviews. The bike that I'm going to show you today actually was never considered cool. Neither it looks exciting nor it sounds like something special, but it's a king of smaller displacement bikes of Taiwan. Kymco Racing King 180 ABS. Welcome it! This bike is not new. This model actually was released back in 2013, and for the first year the bike did look pretty outstanding and everyone liked it. But after the first year, actually no one started paying attention to it on the road. Probably because of the color options that Kymco has picked for it. They're pretty boring. Either it was blue and gray, either like this one, it was just red and gray. As for the latest version of these bikes, Kymco finally did introduce proper color options, but it's a bit too late since there is so much better competition right now, like a Yamaha Force that we did review in previous video. In the front, this bike got pretty cool setup. It got inverted telescopic fork without any adjustments, but it's fine because this fork does work pretty well. Usually you meet this setup on the bigger bikes, like sport bikes, racing bikes, and I don't often see it on the smaller bikes. It's on the Honda MCX Grom or this Kymco Racing. Regarding the rear suspension, it is pretty much the same as on other sporty scooters in Taiwan. It got dual shocks with basic adjustments for the spring stiffness. Today I'll try to ride this bike pretty hard and check how it behaves in corners, how it behaves in the mountain roads, and how it eats the bumps. This bike does weigh quite a lot. It weighs 144 kilograms, which makes it the heaviest smaller displacement bike we have here in Taiwan. But this actually does not matter too much because this is also one of the most powerful bikes, and it definitely has one of the best braking systems we have here in smaller bikes. Not just in Taiwan actually, worldwide. Let's take a look at these brakes. They look pretty cool in the front because this bike got dual disc brakes in the front with 2 piston calipers, which is pretty cool. And at the rear it got 1 piston caliper and 1 disc brake. Overall, this system does give some pretty insane braking performance comparable to the bikes that we use on the racing tracks. It can be partially justified by the top speed this bike reaches and how much power it has, but still it's a lot for this little bike, and it's really easy to put it down if you do emergency braking. The good part is that it has pretty good ABS system, which is comparable to the ones used in the new BMW motorcycles, which is version 9.1. Talking about the engine of this bike, this is truly a pearl here because it is big, it has very nice power band, and it's quite reliable in some sense. This bike has the most powerful engine among smaller displacement bikes we have in Taiwan. It pushes 17.6 horses and 16 pound-feet of torque at 6,500 RPM. So basically, the torque is available at the very beginning of acceleration. I think this bike should pull away pretty well. Also importantly to notice is that this bike is really nice for modification. The stock cylinder size is around 62 millimeters, and you can easily swap it to 70 or 75 millimeters and increase the volume of the engine to 230 cc's from 180. I have no idea how much power it will push, how much horses it will have at this volume, but the top speed you will be able to reach is around 160 kilometers per hour. And the biggest part is actually how fast you will get there. Later I will try to get this bike, modified bike, for review so you can see how fast these things really can be. And 160 kilometers per hour is the only limitation due to the CVT, because the maximum size of CVT we can put here is still pretty small. Actually, the great part of this engine is not just in its performance, but how much Kymco tried to improve the reliability of it since it pushes so much horsepower. So basically they put the innovative water cooling system into it, and it was the first proper water-cooled bike, small bike we have in Taiwan. Alright, I'm pretty tired of talking about this bike, and that's pretty much all I know about it. So let's give it a good ride, push it really hard, and see how it behaves on normal roads.
Alright guys, here we are on the bike, let's see how this thing rides. Acceleration feels pretty numb. Kymco really did kill this bike with this CVT setup. It starts picking up well after 60, but I did expect more from this bike. The brakes do feel very nice, very powerful, very smooth. I'm stopping really fast. I feel like this bike understeers quite a bit. Maybe let's wait for the dry road and test it out more. Let's have a drag race with this G-Max. Great, he pulls first, let's go get him. I've got back to the mountain roads and started raining heavily again. Let's pull over and wait for the rain to stop, and I got some idea what to do here. I really want to check if this bike can at least burn out with this much of a power.
Well, that was not easy, but this thing can burn out. Thanks.
Well, the rain has stopped and I have been on the road for quite some time. The bike still doesn't steer quite a lot, even the road is dry. The big part in it is not just its weight, but the tires that I used here. They are pretty bad. Maybe next time I can swap to Bridgestone Batlegs or Dunlop TT and give this bike another ride, because right now it feels pretty horrible. I've got to this small alley to test how the ABS works. Oh wow, it does work pretty well. It even lets the tires squeak below 20. Let's do it again. Sorry guys, we'll not try to lock the front wheel testing the ABS today. Let's just enjoy the ride this time. Oh wow, I do love riding in the mountains here quite a lot. You always see some gorgeous views like this. Inside the city this bike feels pretty good. It's not heavy anymore, it's quite nimble and very stable. I like it here. Alright guys, after the whole day of riding I'm about to return this bike. To me this bike is just like some kind of misunderstanding or a marketing spin-off by Kymco. They basically took the best parts they had, the inverted fork, dual disc brakes, very powerful engine, but they didn't manage to teach this bike how to turn, how to handle properly, even how to accelerate, and this is very disappointing. So as we can see today, all these Kymco Racing Kings are ridden by older generation people, which makes all this sporty stuff on this scooter just a marketing bluff. Young people don't buy this bike because it's pretty expensive since it's used so many cool parts, but at the same time these cool parts are pretty useless on it. So to me, Kymco Racing King is a pretty big disappointment. Alright guys, so we have already reviewed 2 liquid cooled bikes we have here in Taiwan, and we have one more to go, which will be a real beast. So hit me a like if you like this video, subscribe to my channel for more, because I'm gonna show you really beautiful places here. And ride safe, bye.